So this whole entire drama really does disappoint me, right? Because I would think that someone who has been inside game development before with Pirate Software, right? Because this whole entire situation obviously is about Pirate Software and the whole entire Stop Killing Games initiative that's going on, right? And it does disappoint me because Pirate Software is someone who did work for Blizzard, a big conglomerate for a long time, and he's spoken out about why he likes indie developers, and he's pushed people and saying, go out and make video games. So the stance that he has had on this Stop Killing Games situation has really like disappointed me, and it's kind of like shined a light onto the kind of personality that this guy has, right? And this all stemmed from Stop Killing Games. This has really been going on for like over 10 months now. Now, if you don't know what the Stop Killing Games initiative is, it's a campaign that's being mainly put in front and center by a YouTuber named Accursed Farms, or also known as Ross Scott, where he helped frontline an initiative that's currently going on in the EU. So you can only sign this initiative if you live in the EU. And unfortunately, it's not really looking good because it has about a month left before the initiative finishes. It needs about 1 million signatures, and by the time of me when I'm recording this video, it has a bit over 500,000. So it's not really looking good, right? But what this initiative was trying to do, and it says it in the name, is that it stop killing games, right? But that's just very simple. And to describe it to you in the best way possible, and to use the example that they've been using as well of when it comes to this whole entire initiative, is that, say with The Crew. The Crew was an online multiplayer game that came out in 2014. The initial game came out. Then there was 2 sequels, one in 2018 and one in 2023. Well, Ubisoft actually shut down the servers last year, and because they shut down the servers, the game is now unplayable. So if you bought the game, if you bought anything in the game, it doesn't matter. That doesn't exist anymore. So you can no longer, your money has basically become kaput. And what this initiative is trying to do is that it's trying to make it that it's legally required that if a company is going to shut down their servers, they cannot actually make the game completely unplayable. So if they are looking to shut down support, they have to end support for a game, but where it's still playable for the players. So say if like an MMO shuts down, right? And this has happened times in the past as well, which is kind of like shattering to see that stuff like this happens. Instead of the game completely shutting down and it no longer being playable, is that it's kind of given to the community, where servers can now be run by communities. So this initiative is trying to make it out where games have to be put playable and can be run by the community if the publisher or developer no longer wants to run support for it. And if you think of it, that's a great initiative. That's really great. That is consumer friendly. Because if you think about it, if you go ahead, buy a game, spend money in a free-to-play game, whatever it may be, and then the publisher, for whatever reason, decides to shut down all the servers and makes a game completely unplayable, that's not consumer friendly. If anything, that's probably against some other consumer laws that are in place right now. But because it's video games, and when it comes to online video games especially, there's not really specific laws to help with, like, you know, keeping people accountable for stuff like this. So that's what this initiative is trying to do. But unfortunately, Pirate Software, especially over 10 months ago when all of this started to come out, he made a couple videos about this situation, completely bashing it and actually making up a lot of lies about this. There was so many, and Accursed Farms, he came out 2 days ago with a 1-hour video addressing a lot of the things that Pirate Software came out and said about Stop Killing Games, which was actually wrong. Like, there were so many things that Pirate Software said about this initiative that were just completely false. And not even that, Pirate Software even went steps further and would assault this man.
It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. Now, eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid-ass move. That's an incredibly stupid-ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit, then. I drop the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. That sounds stupid as shit.
Pirate Software is coming off in a very unfaithful way and a very mean demeanor. And you would think that after he is proven wrong several times, like so many people have given him reasons to show of why he's wrong, you would think that he would eventually come out and be like, guys, the way that I read the initiative initially was wrong, and everything that I said about it was completely false. Like when it came to him talking about, what the initiative is trying to do, I'll give a couple examples, right? Is that there was one example where Pirate Software claimed that this initiative was going to force games that were multiplayer and have to force the publisher to turn them into single player games. That's not what the initiative is trying to do. Then another false statement that Pirate Software came out and said was that this initiative was going to make publishers have to run the games till the end of time. That's not what the initiative is talking about. And then also he stated as well is that this initiative was only talking about single player online games. No! It's talking about games in general, and it's talking about having it where it's being able to be playable after the publisher wants to stop support for it. Pretty much like giving it to the community, because there's been times where like MMOs, especially in the 2000s, that no longer are supported by publishers. So the source code is then given to the community and they can run their own servers with it. And there might be some functions that might be missing, but that's fine. The game is still completely playable. And that's all this initiative is trying to do. And once again, he was proven wrong about all of this. But instead of coming out and saying that he was wrong, this man has doubled down so many goddamn times to the point where he made this long ass fucking tweet about this whole entire situation and saying that he's doubling down on the fact of everything that he has said is right and that he's not proven wrong. It went as far as Charlie Moist Critical Penguin Zero, however you know him. He actually DM'd Pirate to talk about this situation, and even then, Pirate still would not admit that at any point he was wrong.
It prompted me to reach out directly to him, to talk to him, to see, like, why isn't he acknowledging that? Is there a reason? Like, what is going on there? So I did. He made it very clear he was not very happy with my coverage of Stop Killing Games, which is fine. I think that's totally fine. I'm not going to leak DMs or really go in depth on our private conversation, but the point of me reaching out to him was to talk about his refusal to acknowledge that he did, maybe unintentionally, misrepresent Stop Killing Games, and it led to a just shy of 2 hours, like, circular argument that ultimately got us nowhere. He was more focused on his qualms with Stop Killing Games and really liked to challenge me to prove him wrong about some of his hang-ups with it. And when I would mention, like, the behavior aspect, like, hey, you did misrepresent it, and I'd give him a timestamp, he'd then instead say how I'm wrong for thinking that he misrepresented it. We got nowhere.
He even came out and put tweets about his talk with Charlie as well. And it's just like, fuck. Like, when the whole entire WoW situation went down with Pirate Software, I gave Pirate the benefit of the doubt, right? I was like, listen, is Pirate in the wrong here? Probably. But I thought everyone fucked up in that situation. And even then, even if that WoW situation was completely like Pirate's fault, I was like, who really gives a fuck? It's a play in a video game. Like, and even if he didn't want to admit fault in that, yes, he's coming off as bit as egotistical, but I don't think that it mattered all that much, right? I don't think that when it came to that situation, I'm like, who gives a shit? It's WoW. Like it doesn't really matter all that much. But when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to actual consumer laws, and people are proving you wrong, people are trying to do a good thing for consumers, and then constantly you are putting out misinformation, which is the even worse part, is that like with the WoW situation, he fucked up, whatever it may be, he didn't want to admit that he was in the wrong. I don't really give a fuck. Like, I made a video, I'm like, who cares? It's fucking WoW. Like, it's classic WoW. Who really gives a shit, right? But when it comes to this, is that this is talking about consumer rights, people's money. And this is trying to do a good thing. You are actively putting out misinformation. And when people call you out for putting out misinformation, you are being an egotistical fuck and just constantly saying that you're not wrong, even when you are proved wrong. It's just like, fuck me. This guy is a wanker. Like, he really is. Like, previously, I didn't care too much about, like, and even when this WoW situation went down, right? Ever since then, it's just been a Pirate Software downhill. Ever since that WoW situation, we need to study the downfall of Pirate Software, because it's really gone down. And to me, the conclusion of all this is that WoW is the root of all evil, right? So, to conclude everything, don't play classic WoW. Don't play WoW altogether, guys, all right? But when, like, that situation first went down, people started then shitting on Pirate Software. And initially when people started shitting on him, I was just like, man, people are taking this WoW situation out of control. But now that this has come out, and the way that he's acted with this situation, I'm like, you know what? These people now have a point. Like, now they have a point about when it comes to his ego. He has such a massive ego. It's actually insane. And I'm kind of disappointed, man. I really am. And I saw something that was really funny of when it came to a comment. People were like, why is he famous? Why is he so popular, like, on the internet? And I saw a comment that said, you know, just because someone speaks with confidence, like they know what they're talking about, doesn't actually mean they actually do. And that's why Pirate got really, like, popular in the first place, is because when he speaks with confidence. He does. He really speaks like he knows what he's talking about. But it just goes to show that a majority of this time, he's just been talking a whole load of shit, especially with this initiative. And it disappoints me because as someone like me who's studying game development, and in the past, especially last year when Pirate, like, really started to get popular, seeing him come out multiple times talking about, guys, go out and make video games, go out and do this, go out and make video games. And even when it comes to his game in general, he's said that he's put a certain things in video games to make it more enjoyable for the player and stuff like that. So the way that he's gone about this situation really does disappoint me. It really, really does. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about this down below. Like, what do you think about Pirate Software and this whole entire situation? And if you are in the EU, I heavily, heavily recommend of you going ahead and signing this initiative. But that is going to be it from me. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.